Hey, good morning guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Norden, the 2023 Norden 901. However, this idea came to me from my 790, my 2024 790 Adventure, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. And today we are talking about size 14 feet and brake pedals. And this is something that has annoyed me ever since I started riding motorcycles. I have a few examples here of some brake pedals. This is obviously not a brake pedal, but I just wanted to show you something. So here you have the OEM brake pedal, which you can see is fairly small. And you can flip it over to change the height. I don't know if any of you guys knew that, but yeah, it's reversible. So that is the OEM pedal. Here is a Vanache or Nice CNC or Amazon or Chinese special. This is a little bit bigger, but still, for me, myself personally, ergonomically, I have to twist my foot to get to this, and then just the tip, like just the tip of my toe is getting to it. Because I wear boots, not Chuck Taylors, when I ride my bike. This is the Raid Garage stepped brake pedal, which surprisingly is the exact same size as the OEM one when you look at it from this point of view. So it actually makes it smaller. You have a smaller footprint to put your foot on. Yeah, all of these solutions are kind of driving me nuts. I like the design idea of this. I just wish it was twice this size. If somebody would make this twice this size, and trust me, I have searched and scoured the internet for every type of brake pedal that's available, including the bolt-on extensions that you can get for various motorcycles, and none of that is suiting my needs. So I came up with an idea. I've got a bunch of these old KTM foot pegs that I'm never going to use again, right? Until now. I also have a couple of spare bolts that fit in a brake pedal arm, a KTM brake pedal arm, and a stainless plate. I did this yesterday without filming it, and it actually turned out really good for what I'm trying to do, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is what the completed version looks like. I know it's kind of dark back here, but we're going to do a time lapse on this anyway. This is a huge improvement. If you have big feet and you struggle like me, because when I stand, this is my natural stance. My feet sit outward. So when I'm on the bike, my feet do the same thing. So when I go to put my foot on the brake pedal, I'm just barely catching the tip of it, and sometimes my foot slips off of it, and I use my rear brake a lot. Some people only use their front brake, but I love using my rear brake. So this is an unbelievable difference. It's like a whole new bike. It doesn't look half bad, but it doesn't look half good either. So it's kind of an in-between thing. And I have this adjusted now to my sweet spot. This is how I like to ride. They're pretty much parallel with each other. Yeah, I wanted to share this idea with you guys. I'm going to do a time lapse of this. So basically you are going to need an old foot peg, some scrap material, whatever you have laying around, some longer bolts. Stainless would be ideal, unless you want to paint it, I suppose. And then I don't have a TIG welder anymore, so I'm just going to use my Millermatic 180 with stainless wire and argon gas, and that seems to do the trick. Alternatively, to clean it up, you're going to need, a stainless steel brush and some isopropyl alcohol, whatever you choose to clean it up with to make it look, pretty decent. But anyways, I guess we'll do a time lapse and then we'll talk about it at the end. So here we go. So as you can see, we now have a little comparison to OEM, Raid Garage, Vanache, Nice CNC, whatever other company duplicated this design, and of course the OEM foot peg. If you're making one of these, one of the toughest parts is to get the bolts to sit down inside the plate there. And the way to do that is you have to like do a spot weld here and then use a hammer and like a center punch to push the design over and then weld it again. And that way the bolts should sit down in there. I did make this one adjustable, although I don't think I'm going to want to have it pushed all the way forward, but we'll put it on the bike here and see. Now, is this the prettiest thing in the world? Absolutely not. However, it is strong, and it's definitely going to be an improvement over any of these other options or any other options available online that I have ever found. Amazon has this ridiculous aluminum thing that's about the same size as this, but it's flat with like a texture on it. I don't know about you, but I just don't trust aluminum, which this is made out of, for a brake pedal or a foot peg. Some of the Nice CNC stuff is questionable to me. So anyhow, we'll get this installed on the bike and then go from there. All right, I went through and adjusted everything to my liking for this setup. You can see that I sit just a bit above parallel on the brake pedal for my setup on this. This is a bike that I ride on-road only. I don't off-road the Norden yet. I'm not experienced. I don't feel like I'm experienced enough to handle a bike that's bigger than the 790 just yet. So eventually this will probably be an off-road bike as well, but for right now it's kind of a touring bike and commuting bike. But I used the front adjustment on this as it seemed to fit my riding style a little bit better for this bike in particular. But yeah, I'm hoping that for some of you guys with bigger feet, that this idea might, you know, either solve a problem or give you some other ideas to help you figure out a solution, because I could not find one that fit to my liking. But aside from that, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. As always, you're going to want to stay tuned. You never know what's coming up. I can give you a little bit of a hint. Maybe in August, we're going to be doing a little facelift on Able. So you want to stay tuned for that. But other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of each other. And as always, I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.